prior to 1988 and developed any of these cancers or suffered any of these injuries, you may be eligible for significant financial compensation.
Leaking underground tanks contaminated the drinking water with benzene and other highly carcinogenic chemicals.
There have been numerous reported cases of exposed personnel developing cancer and other serious health conditions. Call Camp Lejeune victims to discuss your case now.
800-828-1689.
It's been such an amazing day, but it's hot.
It is.
Yeah, it gets hot in the Bahamas. Go figure. So we wanted to come over here and cool off, and I have to tell you, it's been such a great time with you. Getting to know you and hanging out with you. You're a real gem. FBI Tuesdays on CBS, new episodes in September. And we want to show you what's still to come here on ET as we wave goodbye. Let's go.
Happening now.
San Antonio's in the middle of a heat wave, yet I'm not melting, and that's because I'm in a freezer full of ice kept at 15 degrees. Coming up, how a local business here in San Antonio is helping the city and businesses keep cool.
Yet another day of excessive heat, but temperatures will be trimmed back in the days ahead. We're going to talk about that and even a few showers on the radar. See you in a bit.
Will any surveillance video from the Robb Elementary School shooting be released anytime soon? A state committee discussed that today in Austin. The News at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, every little bit counts. 3 major San Antonio companies coming together to address concerns over the high temperatures we are seeing now and will continue to see over the next few days.
CPS Energy, SAWS, and VIA say they're taking measures to reduce energy loads as extreme temperatures challenge the Texas power grid supply. Alicia Barrera is live with more about the city's efforts to keep the power on.
Good afternoon. Well, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, or better known as ERCOT, which they manage the majority of the Texas's power grid. They're saying to keep conserving energy until 8 p.m. So we have about 3 more hours. And what does that look like? What can you at home do? That means not running your washer, dryer, your dishwasher, turning off lights, as well as if you're lucky enough to have a pool, maybe think about turning that pool pump off. But in the case of these big businesses, corporations, CPS says they're also doing their part. And with them, it looks like cutting off some lights at their buildings, as well as improvements to the circuits. The current projections indicate that the tightest hour of energy use is estimated to be at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So we've already passed that, but the total forecasted demand is more than 79,000 megawatts of energy, which is why SAW says they began reducing their energy consumption around 1 p.m. today by turning off pumps that put recycled water into the San Antonio River, but they're doing much more.
We're going to turn off the power we get from CPS Energy and go on generators starting at 2 p.m. But the big one that we're going to do is what may have the biggest meter in San Antonio, and that's our H2O Center. We're going to turn that off. We're going to be able to supplement that with Edwards water. You'll still be able to use your sinks and your commodes. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Again, every little bit counts, but there's still real fear that Texas and San Antonio could once again see these rolling outages. So if it were to come down to that, we hear from CPS on how long those rolling outages could last here in San Antonio. I'll have that information for you coming up at 6, as well as heading into a local business who's helping keep a big part of San Antonio cool. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
And talking temperatures out there, here's a look at some of the backyard readings. Now, Warren in Del Rio, he has 2 thermometers in the shade above grass, appropriate locations. 111 is what both of them are reading right now in his backyard in Del Rio. 109 in Floresville, Schertz 109, even Lakey at 104. We're seeing temperatures above 100 almost all across the board. One exception, Mick Homer and Canyon Lake at 98 degrees. And Canyon Lake at least just had a cooling breeze move through with a few showers on the west side of the lake. 107 so far today officially at the airport. That's a new record. Notice the old record, 104. That was set back in 1917. But we will have an update at 6 o'clock for the official high for the day. And notice off in the distance some dark clouds. Yeah, a few cooling showers for some very lucky folks. We'll talk more about that and what temperatures do the rest of the week coming right up.
All right, thank you. Well, now to another big story today. Will any video from the Robb Elementary School shooting be released.
It is something Uvalde families and the public have been calling for more than a month since the massacre.
Today, a Texas House committee met in Austin to discuss the potential release of that surveillance video from the hallway. RJ Marquez is live in the newsroom with what we know right now.
Yeah, that's right, David and Lee. There are two big things that came out of today's meeting this morning. Uvalde County Sheriff David Nolasco made his way to Austin to testify behind closed doors, and his testimony comes after a deposition was issued last week. The chair for the state committee says they now have nearly 40 interviews, and they hope to release their preliminary report within days. And they wanted to include hallway surveillance video from Robb Elementary, and were expected to release that today. However, it appears the video may not be released publicly anytime soon, and that's apparently a directive issued by Uvalde District Attorney Christina Mitchell-Busby. The representative Dustin Burrows said the committee has seen the 77-minute video. He said it begins after the shooter enters the classroom and ends before the room was breached by law enforcement officials, and it would not show any graphic images or violence. Burrows said the Uvalde mayor and Texas DPS have agreed to release the hallway video, but his office told us today that request was blocked by Mitchell-Busby. Burrows' office said that the DA gave DPS the videos to include in this investigation, but has to give permission for it to be publicly released, and that has not happened.
I can tell people all day long what it is I saw. The committee can tell people all day long what we saw, but it's very different to see it for yourself. And we think that's very important, and we'll continue to put pressure on the situation and consider all options in making sure that video gets out for the public to view.
Now, we called and emailed the DA's office multiple times today, and were told that she would not comment on anything related to this investigation. David and Lee, back to you.
RJ, thank you. Today, representing a major step forward in gun reform in the U.S., President Joe Biden signing into law the bipartisan Safer Communities Act this morning. It's described as the most significant federal gun safety legislation in 3 decades. Now, this law toughens requirements for young people buying guns, denies firearms to more domestic abusers, and helps local authorities temporarily take weapons from people judged to be dangerous. It also features $750 million to help states develop and maintain crisis intervention programs. Speaking at today's event, a Uvalde pediatrician who describes why legislation like this is needed.
I see children daily with PTSD and anxiety that's now leading to depression. I spend half my days convincing kids that no one is coming for them and that they are safe knowing and that they're safe. But how do I say that knowing that the very weapons used in the attack are still freely available?
While this is a major step forward on gun reform, President Biden says there is still more work to be done. He's still calling on Congress to pass a federal ban of assault weapons and high-capacity ammunition magazines, or at minimum to require more stringent background checks and training before purchases.
Crime Stoppers needs help solving a year-old murder. The victim, Raymond Sneed, he was shot and killed July 1st of last year. His killer still on the run. According to SAPD, Sneed died at the Alamo Estates Apartments on Midtown Drive near Walsham Road. They're hoping any witnesses will come forward. If you know anything, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
An update on a deadly weekend crash. We've learned the name of the passenger who died. His name is Levi Wesley. He died early yesterday morning when he was thrown from a vehicle on Villamain Road near South Presa and Loop 410. Investigators say the driver was speeding, veered off the road and hit 2 wooden poles, a light pole and a tree. Wesley died at the scene. The driver is facing a manslaughter charge.
The U.S. is once again seeing an uptick in new COVID-19 cases. Right now, the Omicron subvariant BA.5 is the most transmissible variant yet. It accounts for more than half of the new cases nationwide. Moderna trying to produce another vaccine to address it. The drug maker plans to present data to the FDA this week. Comes as the U.S. is seeing about 100,000 new cases per day. Some states recommending masks once again, since experts say previous infection does not guarantee future protection.
You could theoretically be infected with multiple Omicron subvariants.
With 67% of the country fully vaccinated, hospitalizations are just a quarter of what they were in January at the peak of the Omicron. About 71 million Americans still have not received a single shot. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden in San Antonio today for a Latinx inclusion luncheon.
The First Lady arrived at Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, around noon today. Her visit was at the Grand Hyatt downtown and was a part of the Unidos U.S. annual conference. It was an annual event for people to collaborate on issues that include housing, health, racial equity, education, diversity, and inclusion.
It is the first in-person conference in 2 years because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Outside with the traffic authority, we've got something going on at I-35 at Alamo. You can see a fire truck right there blocking off some of the lanes because it looks like there has been a crash involving at least 2 cars.
Something to be aware of if you're hitting the road this afternoon. Well, now to the wildfire burning in Yosemite National Park and the efforts to save a grove of iconic sequoia trees. Hundreds of them, some thousands of years old, now at risk, including one of the most famous trees in America. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more.
From above and on the ground, crews battling the Washburn fire as the blaze scorches parts of Yosemite National Park. The fire creating a firenado, debris shooting into the air, causing a close call for one plane flying over the area. The fire tearing through more than 2,000 acres since igniting last week. The intense flames threatening the grove of giant sequoias in Yosemite. The iconic trees, some thousands of years old. ABC's Will Carr is there.
Crews are doing everything they can to protect those sequoias, including fighting fire with fire. This is a backfire. They're hoping these flames will cut off the fire's path.
Crews also deploying sprinklers to protect the grizzly giant, the park's second largest sequoia that's well over 200 feet tall.
We're watering that tree in case the fire comes to it, and when the fire does come, fire behavior is just going to drop down and the tree's going to be okay.
So far, officials say their aggressive firefighting tactics are working, but with the fire still burning, there's still cause for concern.
The biggest concern is we still have an active fire outside the grove, and that fire is a concern still for coming into this area, and also the communities in the area as well.
The raging fire turning other parts of the forest and popular summer destination into a hellscape, with thick wild flames turning out smothering smoke. 700 people staying at a nearby campground were told to evacuate, but some are choosing to wait it out.
Plan on staying here at the park for a few days, but I guess we'll see.
Fires in this part of the country are normal, but hotter temperatures and drought conditions linked to climate change make it easier for these fires to start and intensify more quickly.
Thankfully, the wind is not expected to carry this fire any farther, and firefighters say that will allow them to get the upper hand over the next couple of days. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Still ahead at 5, we're talking spending, but still saving. How do you do that? You shop on Prime Day. It's just a few hours away, and this year Amazon isn't skipping on the sales. We take a look at what deals they're offering and all you should know about Amazon's Prime Day when we come back.
A local police department accused of removing and destroying a decade's worth of evidence from its property room. We've got the cease and desist letter at the center of this investigation. That's coming up on the news at 6.
Both of their hometowns hit by mass shootings over the last 2 months. Now the local couple with young children is grappling with both grief and fear, what they want to see happen.
With these triple-digit temperatures, wouldn't it be nice to jump into the San Antonio River to cool off? It sounds refreshing, but not a single one of us would do it. Tonight, our KSAT Explains teams find out what's really in the San Antonio River by putting it under a microscope. You can pretty much call it Black Friday in July. It's a day I'm excited about. Amazon's Prime Day kicks off in about 9 hours, offering discounts on all kinds of things.
And it's not just Amazon. Other retailers are getting in on the summer act. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has some strategies to help you shop smart.
The countdown is on to Amazon's Shopaganza. 2 days of discounts and lightning deals. Hello, Alexa.
Prime Day is known for its tech deals, especially when it comes to Amazon's own proprietary tech.
Echo speakers, Fire tablets look for 50 to 60% off. But Retail Me Not's Kristen McGrath says necessities will be big too because, well, inflation, which also means tighter budgets.
Last year, the average budget heading into Prime Day was just under $600. This year, it's just under $400.
So how do you score real deals and avoid getting sucked into the hype? McGrath says first, make a list.
Add those items to your wish list or your cart in advance so that you know exactly what you're looking for. You need to look at the price tag and not just the percentage off discount. I would look at the price history of the item. There are tools you can use to track that.
Tools like Camel can help you see the item's price over time. And of course, shop around. Several retailers, including Target, Walmart, Best Buy, and Kohl's, are in hot competition with their own summer sales. If you see a price you like on something you need, McGrath says jump on it. But back to school sales will get better later. And TVs and gaming consoles, she says you may want to wait for the real Black Friday. You do need to be a Prime member to take advantage of Prime Day. You can sign up for a free trial. Just remember to cancel or you will be charged the annual fee, which right now is $139. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Outside with live cam, Sky 12 is over the solar farm right there near Bronick Lake. That's one farm that's actually producing something.
Right, doing really well with all of this sunshine.
Yeah, the only kind of farm doing well this time of year, or this season, I should say, unfortunately, because of all the heat, sunshine, and drought. And there's going to be more warmth to go around, of course, in the days ahead. We're going to be feeling the heat and the high temperatures. Now, temperatures will be trimmed back a little bit. However, it does look like we'll still be above 100 until Thursday. At that point, we get down to about 99 degrees. So a little bit of a drop. Yes, it's something. Even that psychological boost of dropping below 100, I think, will play a role as we get later on into this week. Now, so far today, 107, the high temperature measured at the airport in town. I say so far because we could still see a fluctuation over the next hour or so. So we'll have the complete update coming up at 6 o'clock. But that ties for the 5th hottest temperature of all time ever recorded in San Antonio. Of course, the hottest 111 back in September of 2000. Right now we're at 105, dew point of 58. So the heat index, not an issue out there right now. When that dew point falls off in the afternoon, which is what we've been seeing for the past several days, then of course the heat index not really a big factor. And that's going to be the case again the next couple of days. At least during the hottest part of the day, the dew point drops off because the drier air aloft mixes down, and that at least helps us out in terms of the feels like temperature. You look at readings across the state, we're all feeling the heat. Lubbock, 104. 109 in Del Rio, 101 Dallas Junction, 107. 109 Laredo, Cotulla, 108. You get the idea. We're feeling the heat out there. Kennedy, 106. There are a few exceptions, and look at this. Bulverde, 95, Canyon Lake, 93, and even Los Maples, 98 degrees. Now, this is where we actually had a few cooling showers in Comal County, and that helped drop the temperature a little bit. Fisher, Spring Branch, down into the upper 70s. Briefly this afternoon because of those cooling showers. Now look at the dew points. I talked about how they typically drop off. Most of us dew points in the upper 50s near 60 now. Here are a few exceptions. Comal County, Bulverde, Canyon Lake. That's because of those showers that popped up over the past hour and a half. Basically right along 281 here. Northern Comal County, a western portion of Canyon Lake and the western shore of Canyon Lake getting hit by some of those showers. But you see they're fairly short-lived. I mean, better than nothing, kind of like what we had yesterday. A few random and rogue pop-up showers. Cordillera Ranch area, Bergheim toward Bernie. We're seeing this development that's kind of drifting to the southwest with some heavy rain embedded within it along 46. That's nice to see. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot of action out there, but this outflow boundary shown by this thin green line, that's headed southward. And behind that boundary, you get a brief puff of a cooler wind. So temperatures could drop down into the upper 90s behind that boundary, and it could serve to kickstart another shower or two in the coming 30 to 45 minutes over San Antonio. Just something to watch. We have that 10% chance today and tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday up to 20%. By Friday, 10%, and that's it. That's all we can do in terms of showers. More of what we've seen the past couple of days, which isn't much, but it's something for a few lucky neighborhoods. So this evening, still 101 at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 95 degrees tomorrow. We start the day at 80 at 7 a.m. By the noon hour, 96. For the high temperature, we make it up to 104 with just a 10% chance of a few showers popping up. So similar heat tomorrow, just a few degrees trimmed back, and then upper 90s by Thursday, but briefly in the upper 90s at that point.
Definitely important to conserve energy and cool yourself off whenever you have a chance. Thanks, Adam.
I guess wins and losses don't really matter, and that's a good thing right now.
Well, you better hope they don't, because they're 0-2. So this is the Summer League. This is when you learn what you're going to do in the future. But it's going to be a long road for this young team. When we come back, Spurs lose a close one at least when it comes to their second Summer League game. And what does Tony Parker think of all the changes? He'll tell us coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs are now 0-2 in Summer League play in Las Vegas. That's after they fell to the Golden State Warriors last time, but only by 1 point after scoring 20 points in Game 1. First round draft pick Blake Wesley got the ball rolling early again last night. First, the step-back three, scoring 5 of the Spurs' 7 points. That's when Josh Primo hits up. He delivers a 3-ball of his own, and San Antonio's out in front 13-11. Darius Days muscles his way to the basket for the basket and the foul, but the Spurs are still down 1 after 1, 24-23. Now we go to the second quarter. Primo finds another first-round pick, and Malachi Branham for the straightaway 3. That lead is now 6, and just before the half, Days with yet another 3. 7 in the first half of the Spurs, who lead at the break, 48-34. The Warriors start to rally in the third behind Jonathan Kuminga to cut it to 7 going to the fourth. Now Mac McClung, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, with the reverse layup, and we are tied at 74 all with 2 minutes to go. Wesley hits back-to-back transition three-pointers, the second giving the Spurs a lead 85-83. He would finish with 22. The Warriors take the lead at the free throw line with 8 seconds left, giving the Spurs a shot at the game-winning bucket, but Wesley fumbles the ball and it's all over. Spurs fall 86-85.
It's definitely fun, you know. It's a blessing being out here. I'm happy I got the opportunity to be out here. It was just exciting, great basketball game.
The younger teams, it's a different challenge. You may not have as many or the variety of things, but you're going to have to stay disciplined to the attention to detail every day, repeating and hammering the same stuff. It gets a little like Groundhog's Day, but you know that's part of the job too that we enjoy, right? That's the grind. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Speak of the grind, back-to-back games because they play the Rockets tonight in just a matter of minutes at 6 o'clock. Former Spurs star Tony Parker made the trip to Las Vegas. Check out the new-look Spurs. For him, it must be stunning because there's not a single player on this team now after he chose to play his last season in silver and black in 2018. So that begged the question, what are the Spurs doing with this team, especially following the trade of DeJounte Murray?
I have no idea what we're doing as a franchise, so I can't wait for my dinner with Coach Pop. Can't wait. On July 20, we have a big dinner with Chateau Lafite. I know you know that Smitty from Bordeaux, one of the best wine. And I can't wait to have a dinner with him and catch up on the team and what we're trying to do. We have a very, very young roster. I don't know 75% of the team, to be honest. And I'm in the basketball world. I'm scouting. I'm scouting, and I'm like looking at those names. I'm like, man, who's this?
Now, dinner with Pop will solve that problem, and we just got word Josh Primo out tonight, COVID, health and safety protocols.
Yeah, well, that's going to hurt his progress.
Yes, it will.
Let's say. All right, Greg, thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
Real quick, a check at I-35 and Alamo. Once again, a wreck right there. So be careful if you're headed that direction. The typical Monday mess. We'll see you at 6.